What is up, everybody? It's your boy, Chris. Yeah, I'm never saying that again. Ya boy. Nope. Nope. That's a nope. That's just a big no, and I'm not doing it again. So we're not gonna be opening anything that way ever again. But it is Chris, and this is another episode of Songs for Breakfast. Thank you for listening, and welcome to the episode. Like I said last week, we're not doing reviews anymore, so we're just skipping that. We're not doing that anymore. So if that's what you're expecting right here, it's not happening. It's just not here. There is no review. There is no breaking down a song to review it. It's just not happening. So if that's what you were expecting, I am sorry, but we're not doing that anymore. It was just I didn't care for it. I didn't care for doing it, so I'm not doing it. But this week we've actually got a really special song, so we're just going to get right into it. We're just going to hop into this week's discussion. I hope you guys enjoy it. And as always, if you have anything for me, if you want to send me a message, you can do so at songsforbreakfast@gmail.com. All right, let's get into it. Some songs can just mean a lot to you. Maybe you don't know their meaning, maybe you do. But every time you hear it, it just does something to you. It has an effect on your mind, and more importantly, your heart. One of these songs for me is the Abbey Road version of Sam's Town from the Killers' 2007 compilation album, Sawdust. This is one of those songs that when I hear it, I think of being a kid, I think of growing up, I think of my sister who loves the Killers. It's a song that reminds me of coming from a small town, of disappointment, of missed opportunities, and of days that have gone by. Before I get too sentimental about it, however, I don't want to, start like getting all weepy or anything. Let's get into breaking down the song. To me, this song is about the American experience in a small town. So, even though Brandon Flowers, the vocalist, is originally from Vegas, there's just still this really small town feeling about this song. Like it still just portrays itself in that way. This like sense of like Americana and living in a small town. I think that's really great. So we're gonna go with that. So the opening verse says, "Nobody ever had a dream around here, but I don't really mind that it's starting to get to me. Nobody ever pulls the seams around here, but I don't really mind that it's starting to get to me." These opening lyrics seem to state that you're in a small town, that nothing is going to change, that no one makes the effort to do so, or there isn't anyone going to stir things up and get change going. It just isn't going to happen. This absolutely reminds me of my home, where I come from. These opening lines are followed by, "I've got this energy beneath my feet, like something underground's going to come up and carry me. I've got this sentimental heart that beats, but I don't really mind that it's starting to get to me." This is when you get the feeling that you're meant for more than your small town. You're meant for more than it has to offer. You feel energized, you feel like you're going to be able to make a big change and maybe move to the big city. However, even though you feel like it's time to move and make your own way, you are sentimental about where you came from, and it bothers you. You want to strike out, but you'll miss what you'll leave behind. I actually did move to the big city once, and I did miss home, and it really did start to get to me. Then it says, "Now why do you waste my time is the answer to the question on your mind, and I'm sick of all my judges, so scared of what they'll find, but I know that I can make it, as long as somebody takes me home every now and then." So, I guess that's the chorus. It's never, clearly defined, but I believe that would be considered the chorus. But so why stay around? This is the question that is a waste of time. He's sick of all those judging him for wanting more and wanting to leave. He says the people around him are scared of what they'll find when they look inside themselves and see that he isn't wrong for leaving. He isn't wrong for wanting more than a small town America has to offer. He knows that he'll be fine as long as he returns home every so often. He still needs this place in his life. He still needs to come back every so often. It's a feeling you just can't shake sometimes when you're traveling. You look out at a field or a patch of trees and think of home. For me, that is nestled in the mountains of Kentucky. I don't really mind that it starts to get to me sometimes. As the song progresses, we're met with this refrain of, "Oh, have you ever seen the lights? Oh, have you ever seen the lights?" So for the lyricist, Brandon Flowers, like I mentioned earlier, this is likely a reference to going home and seeing the lights of Las Vegas. For me and people like me, this is a reference to being on the dark road home after a long drive and seeing the lights of civilization off in the distance. Then you have the second verse. It kicks in with, I took a shuttle on a shockwave ride where people on the pin pull the trigger for accolades. I took a bullet and I looked inside, and running through its veins is an American masquerade. Now that's quite the verse. That's there's a little bit more going on there. This is a little denser and certainly more metaphoric than the previous verse for me. It seems like the shockwave is what's caused when people actually do something. They have accolades. They make a difference. They strive for change that comes with leaving home. When the lyricist and myself stop and think about changes, the accolades, and the bullets that seem to cause these shockwaves, we all see that it's in the hopes of the American dream, something that was instilled in us in our small town, right? So the bullet that made the change, we stop and we think about it, and really it's still based on this desire to have this kind of idyllic life. This is followed by, I still remember Grandma Ditsy's wake. It's Ditsy. Listening to the song all these years, I thought it was Dixie, but it's actually Grandma Ditsy's wake, and I thought that was really interesting when I was researching the song before recording. It says, I still remember Grandma Ditsy's wake. I never really known anybody to die before. Red, white, and blue upon a birthday cake, and my brother, he was born on the 4th of July, and that's all. This is just about growing up. The author never experienced death before he lost his grandmother, and I had never experienced death until I lost my great-grandmother. It is an experience and a part of growing up. The line about the brother being born on the 4th of July is a reference, again, I think, to the American dream. That is what could be more American and picturesque than in a small town than being born on the 4th of July. I think that's just a reference to this kind of Americana feel that this song has and that the entire album has. Because the entire album has this feel of like Americana and a sense of belonging in the United States and all of that. It's really interesting. And after the chorus, we kind of get the outro. And it says, and this may be the most important part of the song. Actually, the outro may be the most important part. It says, I see London, I see Sam's Town. Pulls my hand and lets my hair down. Rolls that world right off my shoulder. I see London, I see Sam's Town now. So, for the writer, this is literal, right? In Vegas, you can go to a point where you can see a casino with a London theme, and you can also see the casino Sam's Town. That's the casino that the song was named after, is Sam's Town. The whole album is actually named, the original album this song came off of is named Sam's Town. This Abbey Road version was on a compilation, of course, as I mentioned earlier, but the original album is called Sam's Town. So really the whole initial experience is based on this one song. But when he gets to Sam's Town, or in my case, when I return home, it pulls me in and I can let my hair down and relax. The whole world just melts away and all the troubles are gone. So when you return home, you yourself are seeing London. You are, seeing Sam's Town. My sister and I actually went through Las Vegas sightseeing, and so we saw site after site, just so we could stand on the street and say that we saw London and we saw Sam's Town. Then we returned home back to our small town in America. In the end, I think that's just what this song's about. It's okay to shake things up. It's okay to strike out on your own, but it's best to remember where you started, and it helped you get you where you are. So I think that's kind of the final point of the song. Like, it's okay to strike out. It's okay to do your own thing. It's okay to leave, but it's always good to remember where you came from because it helped you get to where you are now. So what song really makes you guys think? This one really makes me think. This one really gets me. This one really kind of sits in my heart every time I hear it. So what song does that for you? Do you have one that just gets you every single time? Do you have one that really makes you think every single time? If so, you can send it to me at songsforbreakfast.com or songsforbreakfast@gmail.com, not songsforbreakfast.com. That's not an email address. songsforbreakfast@gmail.com, because I'd love to hear it. And of course, as always, this is the end of the episode. So thank you all so much for listening. And as always, I hope you have a great day.